The night of the 2025 Weibo TV and Internet Video Summit had already become the talk of the year. From dazzling gowns to red carpet reunions, every second was being live-streamed, replayed, and analyzed by millions of fans across Asia. But what the audience didn't see was what happened behind those heavy velvet curtains. What happened between Dylan Wang and Shen Yue backstage. The whispers, the tears, the moment that changed everything. It started hours before the cameras rolled. Dylan arrived early, looking calm, collected, and every bit the superstar he had become. His stylists worked quickly, adjusting his black tailored suit, smoothing his hair, adding a final touch of gloss to his smile. To the outside world, he was flawless. But deep down, his thoughts were anything but calm. He knew she would be there. Shen Yue. It had been months since they last crossed paths publicly, and even longer since they had spoken in private. But tonight, destiny, or perhaps the industry, had brought them together again. Shen Yue arrived soon after, glowing under the soft lights of the preparation room. Her dress shimmered in a muted pearl tone, elegant yet understated, just like her. But as she stepped into the hallway and saw Dylan's reflection in the mirror, for a brief second, her breath caught. Time had done strange things between them. It had healed some wounds, deepened others, and blurred the line between friendship, love, and regret. They had shared laughter, pain, and countless on-screen moments that made fans believe in fairy tales. But behind the scenes, reality was far less kind. As the ceremony began, they both took their places. Dylan sitting at the front with co-stars and executives. Shen Yue positioned a few rows behind. Their eyes met briefly across the crowded room. It was enough to spark something. Something unfinished. Hours later, after the cameras stopped rolling, the applause faded and the flashes dimmed. The grand stage emptied, and the night's chaos drifted into quiet backstage corridors. That's where it happened. A quiet hallway lined with mirrors and stage lights. The kind of place where truths often slip out when no one's supposed to hear them. Shen Yue stood near the dressing area, clutching her clutch bag, waiting for her assistant. Her expression was unreadable, her thoughts distant. And then she heard footsteps. You. His voice. Low, soft, familiar. It froze her in place. She turned slowly, and there he was. Dylan Wang, no cameras, no audience, no facade. Just him. Just them. For a long moment neither spoke. There was too much history, too much that words could never quite fix. Finally, Dylan broke the silence. I didn't expect to see you tonight. Shen Yue smiled faintly. Neither did I. But I guess fate likes reruns. It was a line meant to sound light, but her eyes betrayed the weight behind it. He stepped closer, his gaze searching hers. You looked beautiful out there. She laughed softly. You always say that when you're guilty. The silence that followed said everything. There were whispers of old promises, echoes of conversations that never found closure. Back when they filmed Meteor Garden. Back when late-night calls and secret messages were their only escape from fame's suffocating pressure. They were two people clinging to something real. Until the world found out. And when it did, everything changed. Agencies stepped in. Rumors exploded. Their friendship, their connection, their almost love was buried under contracts, denials, and PR headlines. Now, years later, in this narrow backstage corridor, all those memories came crashing back. Shen Yue's eyes glistened. You didn't have to ignore me out there, you know. A simple hello would have been fine. Dylan's jaw tightened. I couldn't. You know how it works. Cameras, fans, every glance gets twisted. She looked away. So you'd rather let me stand there like I'm invisible? He sighed, running a hand through his hair. You think it's easy for me? Every time I look at you, every time I smile your way, someone turns it into a headline. You think I don't miss how simple it used to be? Her composure cracked just slightly. Her voice dropped to a whisper. It hasn't been simple for a long time, Dylan. The tension between them thickened. The kind that only years of unresolved emotion could create. For a moment, he stepped closer. Close enough that the soft scent of her perfume met the faint trace of his cologne. It was the scent of nostalgia, of what could have been. But before anything else could be said, Shen Yue blinked back tears and looked away. You should go. Bai Lu's probably waiting for you. The mention of her name stung like a blade. His expression faltered. That's not. But Shen Yue cut him off, her tone steady but fragile. You don't owe me explanations anymore. And just like that, the moment broke. Dylan hesitated, torn between staying and walking away. In another life, maybe he would have reached for her hand, told her everything he never had the courage to say. But this wasn't that life. He turned slowly, his voice trembling just slightly. For what it's worth. You were never invisible to me. Then he walked away. Each step echoed through the empty hallway like a heartbeat fading into silence. Shen Yue stood there frozen. For the first time in years, her tears fell freely. Quiet, graceful, unstoppable. Her assistant returned moments later, startled to see her like that. Are you okay? She wiped her tears quickly, forcing a smile. Yeah, I'm fine. Just dust in my eye. But it wasn't dust. It was heartbreak, pure and simple. Later that night, a few sharp-eyed fans noticed something unusual. In behind-the-scenes footage uploaded by a staff member, a blurred clip showed Shen Yue wiping her eyes backstage. And just a few frames later, Dylan walking away in the opposite direction. His expression distant, conflicted, almost haunted. That was all it took. The internet erupted. Did they fight backstage? Why was Shen Yue crying? Did Dylan and Bai Lu's moment trigger something deeper? Within hours, hashtags like #ShenYueTears, #DylanBackstage, and #Weibo Summit Secrets trended across multiple platforms. Fans dissected every frame, every look, every second of silence between them. Some argued it was closure. Others believed it was heartbreak reignited. But everyone agreed it was real. In an industry built on illusion, moments of genuine emotion are rare. And that night, they saw two hearts still tethered by something unspoken. Days later, Shen Yue posted a cryptic message on her personal account. A photo of a dimly lit dressing room mirror. No caption, just a single emoji. Crescent moon. Fans flooded the comments. Are you okay? Was it about Dylan? What really happened that night? Dylan, on the other hand, remained silent. He went on with his promotions, his interviews, his charming smiles. But observant fans noticed. His usual brightness had dimmed. There was something quieter about him, something distant. Insiders whispered that he had requested a short break after the event. That he'd been quieter than usual. That maybe, just maybe, the encounter backstage had stirred emotions he thought he'd buried long ago. Weeks passed. The summit faded from headlines.